Well, AEW All In 2025 is in the books. It was an incredible show, probably PLE, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, of the year for 2025, and that is not in any way an exaggeration. This show was absolutely amazing from start to finish. There were a lot of very high points, a couple of low points, but they were forgivable points. But I really, really enjoyed this show. And yeah, we're just going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the results. We're going to talk about everything that, happened. And with that, let's get right on into it. This is going to be my official review of AEW All In 2025. We started off the night with the AEW World Trios Championships on the line as we had the Ops, Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, and Powerhouse Hobbs retaining the championship against Gabe Kidd, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli. It was a very good match, to say the least. The Ops were able to retain, which is good. And then after the match, the Death Riders attacked Samoa Joe and took him out of commission by stomping on Samoa Joe when he had a chair wrapped around his neck, and he got carried out by a stretcher. Probably going to write Samoa Joe off of TV, which is like, okay, I'm not mad at that at all. And yeah, it was definitely trying to set a precedent that, Samoa Joe's not going to help Hangman in the main event, which was very nice to see. We had the men's casino gauntlet match. We had men like MJF, Mark Briscoe, Ricochet, Mystico, the whole 9 yards in this match. It was a very, very good match, to say the least as well. MJF ended up winning, which I felt like that was the right decision, especially with the result of the main event. Then we'll get to have a continuation of MJF and Hangman Adam Page feuding for that belt, which is a very good first feud for Hangman Adam Page in this world title reign. Or you could have MJF cash in that contract whenever. I don't know exactly what the rules of this year's Casino Gauntlet match is, but it is what it is. I know this is going to be out of order, but let's also get to the women's Casino Gauntlet match, which was easily better than the men's Gauntlet match because of the amount of star power, the amount of chaos, and everything like that. We had the AEW debut of Shuri, I think her name is. She debuted in that match. We also had Alex Windsor make her debut after weeks of teases in this match. We also had a lot of women's stars like Athena. We had Julia Hart in there. We had Mina Shirakawa. We had Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander. The field in this match was incredible. We also had Thunder Rosa in there as well. We also had outside interference a ton of times in this match with the likes of Harley Cameron. We also had Sky Blue have a lot of moments where she was not an official competitor in this match, but she got involved, got attacked a lot. There was one spot where Mina Shirakawa tapped out Sky Blue, and Sky tapped, and Mina Shirakawa was like, hey, I won the match. And it was like, no. In the end, Athena won the Casino Gauntlet match, which I felt like that was the right decision to do. I really wish she would have dropped that Ring of Honor Women's World Championship beforehand, though. But it's clear that they want Athena to be an unstoppable force until maybe she faces Mercedes Moné again. But she'll be able to challenge for the AEW Women's World Championship, which is good. And hopefully this means Athena will get more screen time in AEW. Let's get on to the TNT Championship match, which had a bit of controversy in there. Earlier in the pre-show, it was announced that Adam Cole, who was the reigning TNT champion, suffered an injury and he had to vacate the TNT championship. He was supposed to go one-on-one with Kyle Fletcher, But the match instead got changed to a fatal four-way match for the vacant TNT Championship, as we had Kyle Fletcher, Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara, and Dustin Rhodes in a fatal four-way match. Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes already had a match in the pre-show. Now they're pulling double duty. This was a decent fatal four-way match. I won't say I was the most invested in it. I will say the result, however, shocked me because I thought this was going to be an easy way to have Kyle Fletcher finally get his moment, but instead they pulled an audible. They want the Texas crowd to get a big pop. Dustin Rhodes ended up winning the TNT Championship, something that none of us really expected. And, I'm not really mad at this if this means that pretty soon Dustin Rhodes is going to call it a career. We can now say that both Rhodes brothers are former TNT champions. Very nice to see Dustin finally get his flowers so late in his career as well. And let's be honest, guys, anyone who's mad at this, it's very obvious that Dustin Rhodes is not going to have a long TNT championship reign. This is just so that way Kyle Fletcher can get his moment sooner rather than later in a proper one-on-one environment, which I am not mad about. And this could even lead to a Sons of Texas and Don Callis family feud, which I'm not mad at. We also got the AEW World Tag Team Championships on the line as we had the Hurt Syndicate versus Jet Speed versus Nick Wayne and Christian Cage of the Patriarchy. And Hurt Syndicate were able to retain, but however, afterwards, we had FTR out there as special guest commentators, and they ended up coming down to the ring, confronting the Patriarchy, because they had a little bit of a you scratch my back, I scratch yours, and since the Patriarchy failed to win the tag team titles, they had a little bit of an argument, and Christian Cage was telling the Patriarchy, okay, let's get out. Nick Wayne ended up hitting a kill switch on Christian Cage, and Kip Sabian, Mother Wayne, and FTR all betrayed Christian Cage. When it looked like Nick Wayne was about to hit a concerto on Christian Cage, however, Adam Copeland, or as AEW wants you to call him, Cope, made his AEW return and ended up fighting off the Patriarchy, helping Christian Cage up, and grabbing a microphone saying, go find yourself. So this is very clearly going to lead to, I want to say, All Out, where we're probably going to get the reunion between Christian Cage and Adam Copeland, which I'm all for. And listen, I'm going to go on a whim. People could get mad at me. I don't give a fuck. Give Christian and Edge, well, fucking Cope and Christian, the AEW Tag Team Championships. Give it to them. Give it to them, give it to them, give it to them. I do not care in the slightest. Just do it. You know what I mean? They're this late in their careers. I can't wait to see what a tag team run between these two is going to bring us, but it's going to be absolutely amazing. And having them face FTR, yes, please. We also had the tag team match between the Young Bucks and Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. Obviously, if the Young Bucks win, Will Ospreay and Swerve cannot challenge for the AEW World Championship for 1 calendar year. But if the Young Bucks lose, their EVP titles are no longer valid. And this match, kick out after kick out after kick out. But these guys did pretty well in the ring together. I honestly thought the Young Bucks were going to win this match, but that was not the case. Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland won, so they're still able to challenge for the AEW World Championship, which is like, hey, that's cool. Which means the Young Bucks are no longer AEW EVPs. And something that a lot of people saw on AEW's roster page this morning is the roster page now says Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay are EVPs. So I don't know what we're going to do from here. I would very much love to see what that means. And I'd very much want to see what the direction of the Young Bucks go after this. What will happen with them? Will we probably get a rematch? Will we probably get the Young Bucks just crashing out on Dynamite? Something like that. Who knows? But yeah, no, I'm very, very happy that Swerve and Ospreay won this match. Then we go on to our first of the triple main event, as we had Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. Now, listen, I know about the whole Sean Ross Sapp, JD from New York. Mercedes has creative control. Mercedes doesn't. You can go look on my channel. I believe Mercedes Moné does have creative control. But much to my surprise, Toni Storm actually won. Toni Storm actually won, managed to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. And these women actually cooked in this match. It was an actually very good match. I mean, I didn't think that the match would be bad by any means, but I was mainly plagued by my, oh, great, Mercedes, another belt. That's great. No, it was actually a very, very good match, and I'm very, very happy that Toni Storm won that match. I don't know if Tony Khan had Toni Storm win to shut up all the people saying Mercedes Moné had creative control, or if he did this because that was the long-term plan to have Toni Storm beat Mercedes Moné. And this is Mercedes Moné's first loss in her AEW career. And I don't know what happens with Mercedes from here. Maybe she'll actually defend the 17 belt she has. And hopefully she stays long, far, far, far away from the AEW Women's Championship. At least until she drops the TBS title, man. Because I don't care what Sean Ross Sapp wants to say. He can reply to any one of my tweets. Mercedes has creative control. Hogan lost too, asshole. Then we go on to our co-main event of the evening for the new AEW Unified Championship, as the international champion Kenny Omega took on the continental champion Kazuchika Okada. Now, I know a lot of people went into this match expecting their New Japan classics, expecting, oh my god, spot here, spot here, spot here, spot here. Fucking Kenny Omega just recovered from diverticulitis, I think is the proper pronunciation. He's obviously not going to be as fast as he normally is, but I want to say the match was actually pretty good despite that. We also had Don Callis fucking around throughout the entire match as well. Jim Ross came back on commentary too. Good to see you back, Jim. And much to my surprise, well, a lot of surprises tonight, Kazuchika Okada won against Kenny Omega. I wanted Kenny Omega to win. Honestly, I didn't care who wins, though. Both men are very, very good wrestlers. So Kazuchika Okada is the first ever AEW Unified Champion. And I think the long-term plan, I think the reason why Okada won this match was so that way when the Continental Classic happens again, Kazuchika Okada will be the defending champion again because he's the greatest tournament wrestler in wrestling history, which is like cool. But at least have, since this is one belt now, at least have Kazuchika Okada have more of a title reign instead of just fucking around. That's all I ask. Then we go on to the main event. Then we go on to the main event of the evening for the AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley defends against Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match. These motherfuckers wasted no time in the violence, in the blood. We had the classic Hangman stabbing Jon Moxley with a fork. We had real glass. We had tables, we had barbed wire tables, we had barbed wire, we had all this bullshit. We had a bed of nails. Oh, it was absolutely violent. It was devastating, but hey, it's the main event of your biggest show of the year. No pun intended. You're going to want to go all out. But it's called All In, so I don't know why I did that. But it was a very good match between these two men. Completely subverted my expectations. We had the Death Riders come out, obviously. It looked like Hangman was going to be fucked. Will Ospreay tried to go out there and try to help Hangman, but they got the Samoa Joe treatment earlier on in the night with the whole chair spot. So I don't know if Will Ospreay is going to be written off of TV now too, if he's a EVP now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But then we had a bit of a Hangman comeback and then all that jazz. Then we had a video play on the Titantron of Darby Allin on the top of Mount Everest saying, "Jon Moxley, I'm coming to take everything away from you." And then immediately after, we had Bryan Danielson in a Blue Panther mask come out, hit a Psycho knee on, I want to say, Claudio. And then Bryan was fighting off the Death Riders. Then Darby Allin, this motherfucker don't die. He returned to AEW coming down from the rafters, classic Sting fashion, and hit a coffin drop on the entire field. And then when it looked like Jon Moxley was going to come back into this match as well, he told Marina Shafir to grab the briefcase that had the AEW World Championship in it, but Prince Nana managed to handcuff Marina's hand to the timekeeper's area so she couldn't go anywhere. And then Swerve came in, beat down the Young Bucks. Oh yeah, the Young Bucks tried to interfere too. And then gave Hangman the chain, and then in the classic Revolution 2023 finish, Hangman managed to choke out Jon Moxley, make him tap, and Hangman Adam Page is the new AEW World Champion. When I tell you this was the most marked out moment I've had in years as a professional wrestling fan, I mean it. Like, I jumped up and down. I was tweeting like a motherfucker. You could go back and see that. I was so happy with this match. It was so entertaining. And I know there's going to be a lot of people out there. It's like, oh, the match was too violent. I don't give a fuck. This was the perfect conclusion to the Death Riders storyline that you could possibly do. This was the best you could do with this character development with Hangman Adam Page going from demented motherfucker to sympathetic hero. And you get the Avengers out helping Hangman win. You had returns, you had cameos, you had everything like that. Good to see Bryan Danielson. Glad to see Darby Allin back and everything like that. Hangman is the new champion and it's a new era in AEW. Absolutely excited to see what Hangman Adam Page does in this title reign and what goes on from here. In terms of a grade, I'm going to give AEW All In a 10 out of 10. I don't give a fuck. Call me biased. Call me all that. But this felt like a WrestleMania that wasn't a WrestleMania. This show also broke the record for longest professional wrestling pay-per-view. I have the pay-per-view here. I think it clocked in at 6 hours. It clocked in at 6 hours exactly, but it did not feel like 6 hours. I won't lie to you. It felt like a 4.5 hour at best pay-per-view. Sure, were there moments where it felt like the pay-per-view was dragging a little bit? Yeah, the tag team title match and the TNT title match. But everything before and after that, absolutely amazing. A lot of shocking moments. A lot of incredible matches. Great in-ring wrestling. Kudos to everyone who performed on the card. Oh, by the way, Adam Cole, get well soon. I hope you're not retiring, my goat. Yep, AEW All In gets a 10 out of 10 from me. I love this show. Probably one of the best pay-per-views recently, and probably one of the best pay-per-views I've ever watched. I'm not going to lie to you. Ladies and gentlemen, though, that is just my opinion. That will conclude my review of AEW All In 2025. Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. I'd very much love to read what you guys have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, with all that being said, this is going to conclude the video. If you're new here, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to turn post notifications on so that way you never miss an upload. And with all that being said, guys, this has been your boy Will's Wrestling Corner, and I will see you in the next video. Be good people, and peace.